I left the battlefield, my boots stumbling across the freezing terrain of the field, now stained with blood and littered with bodies. As I paused to look back at the war zone, a woman came running onto the field behind me. She was short, dressed in typical farmer wife apparel, with the blue dress and the white apron with the black button boots that are so common in this part of the country. I couldn't see what color hair she had, because it was tucked inside her bonnet or whatever they called her hair covering in this part of the country. She must have run out without her jacket on. Her skin was light. She must not have to work outside very much. Probably came from wealth or a large family with plenty of menfolk to do the outside work. I was curious as to her presence on this blood-stained piece of hell. The shriek of the woman as she stopped at every corpse is sort of a high-pitched gasp. She pauses for a few seconds at each man, staring at their war-damaged faces, as if she hopes to find someone. The only dead people here are considered heretics by normal people. Maybe she isn't normal. I think about hiding behind a log, but this woman doesn't care about what's in the woods. She cares about the dead on the field. I felt curious to know who she was looking for, with such fierce determination and grief. When she gets to the man I killed, she stops. I can hear her wail this time, a clear, keening sound of pain and loss. That man was my enemy. The farmer woman falls to her knees, tears falling onto his chest. She wraps her body around his, pleading with God to give her husband back to her. There is blood on her dress, blood covering her white apron. All blood from her husband, the man I slayed. I feel a twinge of something like remorse. Not because I killed the man, but because this loss obviously affecting this woman. She had loved this man. There was no doubt of that. Even on the frozen ground of this battlefield, she was grieving him as if he had been very precious to her. It was painful to watch, the farmer woman's display of grief, but I knew it was real because she had no idea I was watching her. I felt like I couldn't walk away. I wanted to look. Would Sarah grieve like that for me? A minute later, I heard hoofbeats and the crunching of twigs. At least 2 horses. That was strange that there were horses and riders who hadn't been part of the battle. I had thought all horses had been commandeered last week. Everyone was fighting the good fight, for the sacred cause. Even I had fought. My men, the survivors, had left me here, thinking me dead. Damn heart issues, my body didn't handle stress very well. I had passed out after I had made my first kill. The adrenaline too much for my body. I'm sure my battalion would come back for me when they came back for the rest of the bodies. When I had woken up, the farmer wife's husband was picking the pockets of my dead comrade. I had stood up, grabbing my sword, ready for the dance of death with this pathetic loser. Even cold and recovering, I had the advantage of having my sword in hand. The man had fallen quickly, minimal effort needed to cut his life short. These men who are approaching make me duck down behind a fallen log, the oldest trick of a man who needs to hide. I wiggle until I am both hidden from view, and I have a view of the men who are approaching. The first horse is chestnut-colored. Astride the horse is one man, large, with broad features and a heavy gait. The man has dark skin, the skin of a sun-tanned man. A farmer by the looks of him. He is wearing a dark blue fabric jacket with patches on the elbows and blue pants with holes. His head is bare and his step quick. He looks like an ox. Oxman is how I think of him. There is a black horse with a rider. The rider is short in frame. He has a narrow face with red hair. He is average in build and is wearing some dirty stained brown-colored clothing that is what farmers in the area wear to work. He has boots on. He makes me think of a rooster, a little red rooster who thinks he is the boss of the farmyard when I picture him. Rooster Man. A dark gray-colored horse brings up the rear. The rider is an older man, his face wrinkled and twisted in worry. His gray hair and gray beard are a tribute to the years he has lived. He is wearing dark blue clothing like Oxman with black boots like Rooster Man. Maybe he is the father of the 2 men. I decided to call him Old Man, for obvious reasons. The horses are pushed to hurry to the farmer woman's side, the men obviously happy and relieved to have found her. Their breaths come out in smoky puffs. It's cold. I would have left here, but I feared discovery. I was on the wrong side of the sacred cause for them to have sympathy for me. I can't leave him. I hear the farmer woman's words as the 3 men